Greetings, guys. I wanted to talk about some of the energy that is happening right now. So, I'm going to cover the eclipse, I'm going to cover the equinox, I'm going to cover a new system in which we're going to be connecting to and how we're going to connect to this system, and as well as why we need a new system. So, that might be a great place to start. When I talk about system, the word system can mean many things. When I'm talking about system, I'm referring to the energy system in which we're using and connecting with. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Natalie Nadine, and I am a multi galactic and multi dimensional channeler. I also am the founder of a healing modality called Wasamali Interactive Quantum Healing. So let's get started. So I was up north maybe 8 hours. I'm located in Canada. I was up there a couple weekends ago, and that's when I discovered where our current energy system is outdated. It's a system that we can no longer continue to keep using in the way we're using it because it's not sustaining us. We have people every day that are being impacted um, in a way that can their channel that they connect with is impacted. So we've been seeing that over the last year, lots of infiltration, lots of also 3D things that are happening that are blocking our pineal. And so enough is enough. That system is been now deemed not to be functioning in a way that is in our best interest. So we're no longer doing repairs to it. What we're going to be doing is moving to an entirely new system. So we're all familiar with how does it work, how connecting through our crown and having the information come in. It hits our pineal, we hear, we see, we are claircognizant, we are clairaudient, whatever the clairs are that you have activated. So we know that that information comes in through our crown. So the easiest way to stop that would be to have things try to block the connection, right? And if we only have one point of access, then it's pretty easy to have it be blocked. So what's been happening now is instead of being this vertical energy tube that comes in through our crown, we're actually going to have, or even our heart space. Some people will channel through the feelings coming through their heart space. Anyways, what I'm saying is the new system of energy that will come through that we will access will come through from Lemuria, from out by Hawaii, and then midway point will be anchored in by Georgian Bay, Canada. And then from there, it's going to link across to the Japan Sea. And this will be our entire system. That entire system of light, the tunnel, will activate. And as it activates, we're going to have an experience where we can enter this tunnel and we can access the codes, and those codes can come in through us. So we'll embody the information, and it will be less of an analytical way that we have it. It'll be more of this body sense of knowing it. So think of it like a jigsaw puzzle. The old system is like a jigsaw puzzle box. You open the box, you take out the pieces, and you realize, I'm missing like 30 pieces of the 100-piece puzzle. Like they're not all here. So now you have to connect and try to channel in some of the missing pieces, right? Like we know our DNA structures have been altered. We know we are not in the original blueprint as designed. So we have to channel in information to access some of those things, some of our heritage, some of the things that we don't have memories for. So that wasn't working as well or as quick as necessary. So we have this tube of light that's going to start activating. What we'll do is we'll stand in it, we'll absorb the information, we'll absorb it as codes. Those codes will be much more similar to having a box. There be 30 pieces missing, and we're going to go stand in this box, and it will be almost like automation. the missing pieces start coming back, and moving into the right places. There'll be less of us manually trying to do things and more of our bodies absorbing the codes as we consciously are like, this is the direction we're going. I feel like there's some missing pieces. We go and stand into the tunnel of light, and the codes are embodied um, into our system, and we are able to decipher them on a soul journey level, where things just start to happen. So the cool part about this is we're still about I would say 4 or 5 weeks away from being able to access this new system. So people have been feeling a little bit lost, a little bit in limbo, a little bit like, I don't feel a whole lot of energy right now, because this old system of energy is dismantling and we're like being unhooked from it. We're in this limbo, and then we're going to have the structures needed to connect to this tunnel of energy. So we're not able to connect to the tunnel of energy yet, and we're disconnecting from this one. We're in this window. So think of it like two ships coming together, and we're pulling apart. This one's leaving, and this one's going in a new direction. And the interesting thing about this is, obviously, there can't be no energy at all. So the boats are not going to stop. They're not going to come to a standstill when you're not going to be able to just jump from one to the other while they're stopped. They have to do it while everything is in motion. So it is has this feeling of, we're getting upgrades, we're getting activations, we're getting disconnected from this, we're getting DNA structures that need to be activated for being connected to this new one. So we're getting a lot of things happening as these two ships merge and pull out into opposite directions. So lots is happening. So they've chose to do this. So when I say they, it's the spirit teams and the coordinators that come in to support us as humans, the human race. So there's lots of different beings that have that role to come in and support. So as we're going through this transition, they've chosen this really cool time where we have the eclipse, which is an opening and shedding of old, an opening of new. So we're opening this new. We're going to be in this from, Tuesday nighttime until Saturday, you know, late Saturday. Either way, we're going to be in these days of the in between where we open and then lock. So that will be the transition where the two boats are side by side and coming and then pulling apart. And that's where we're going to start really seeing the activations. We're really going to start seeing the structures. We're seeing already lots of energy coming in, with the solar flares coming and happening, lots of purging opportunities, lots of growth in consciousness and expansion. So when that happens, we always have to like purge out some and make some space. So definitely going to start seeing some of those old wounds return, body symptoms start happening. Quantum healing is awesome during that time. So you can go and access different things that you weren't aware of before and now are coming to the surface. They're easier to nab and clear out. So then what we're going to end up doing is, in this new tunnel of light, when we connect to it and stand in there, we're going to embody different key codes. So I have pictures of some of those key codes that I'm able to release for us. So I'm going to take a look and show you what those look like. Definitely something I had channeled in a couple of weeks ago when I was on this drive. So the first one that we're going to see is this blue one here. Oops. This blue one here looks like this. And that one is going to be one for our third eye. The next one is for our heart space, looks like this. And the third one will be the key code to using the actual tube of light, which also looks very much like Ashana Dean's information of the covenant. So that is that. And then this is what we will look like when we are in the tube of light. We'll be embodying the codes up here. This will be us in the tunnel embodying it. This will be the tunnel as it's activated. So that's to come. If you're on Substack, you'll also notice that we're also getting information from consciousness. So I discovered there is a place where extra consciousness resides, which is quite unique for me to find. Um, and so I didn't really understand how that even happens. So I had to go through a process of understanding how can there be extra consciousness residing somewhere. That's when I realized, okay, if somebody is being kept alive in a coma or their body is being kept alive for a specific reason, um, when that happens, the person has a soul in there. They are alive. They are a living, breathing thing. When that soul leaves, the body will no longer be able to, have any functionality in their body. Their soul has exited. But there can be consciousness, and the consciousness is the brain activity that comes in. And so we can see some individuals that have grown to their adult years. Things like a stroke might happen, Parkinson's might happen, Alzheimer's might happen, a car accident, a natural disaster, something happens. And for whatever reason, that person's life journey and their contracts are best served still here on Earth, but the consciousness fragments. And now the person is that's had a stroke might function an 8-year-old level, or a person might have a reduction in their functionality and now function as a much younger individual. That consciousness has gone somewhere, that piece. And so I discovered a whole place where the consciousness of individuals has fragmented and residing. And I was sort of like, okay. But then it also made sense to me, if a soul can fragment and have soul fragments that we go in and retrieve, why can we not retrieve conscious fragment pieces and bring them back and merge? And that's why we have this new system. The new system will allow us to be able to bring in consciousness. And we're going to start seeing more and more and more and more of that start taking place. So things like individuals that we're going to start having the modalities rolling out for healers to start addressing individuals who have a reduction in consciousness. Um, so, not sure how long that's going to be or when that's going to start. The early steps have already started to take place by this knowledge being shared. We have to know what's possible. When we discover what's possible, then we are able to start moving our brain in a way to accept the new ideas. And so we, in Wasamali, we know so many things are possible, and we're just looking at what else can we bring in. So we're going to start probably, like I said, 4 weeks or so from now, being able to hook up to this new system. When we're hooked up to the new system, our body will integrate the codes relatively easy, and we'll have this returning to original blueprint much more effectively, much more automatedly, much less analytical mind like way and version. We're going to start seeing a lot of those advanced technologies coming in through our energy healers, through our quantum healers, and we're going to start having more access to more of our consciousness as it comes back, and we're discovering how to bring those pieces back in. So, anyways, guys, if you would like to try Wasamali, if you would like to do more expanded versions of channeling, I teach channeling, I teach Wasamali. If you want to be a client in the Wasamali clinic, let me know and we can talk about those options. I have a video library available if you want updates like these regularly. You can join the Saturday night channeling class. You can join the video library, and I will leave you links for all of these things so that you now have a clear energy update and you know what's going on and why those things are happening and what the future holds. Anyways, guys, lots of love. Bye for now.